So it finishes at St James's Park, Newcastle 1, Everton 1. I'm not really sure what to make of that game. At times I thought we played some decent stuff, and then at others I thought we were ranked bad. First half, I think the first half display was okay. Obviously taking the lead through a fantastic goal from Isak. Lovely ball played from Harvey Barnes over the top, and Isak running onto it, cut inside, and smashed it in the bottom corner. So at that stage, you know, I was thinking, yeah, we deserve to be ahead here. We've played some decent stuff. Everton were offering very, very little going forward. In fact, I thought they were terrible at one stage, Everton. I thought they were absolutely garbage. And I couldn't see them getting back into the game. But as time progressed into the second half, obviously Everton then hit the post. And you begin to worry. You think that, you know, this game isn't cut and dried yet. We haven't won it. We huffed and puffed without really creating a lot. Pickford made a couple of good saves. It pains me to say that, but he did. And at that stage, you know, all was well. Certainly going into the last 13 minutes of the game, I thought, yeah, we might just sneak this 1-0 and another 3 points. But then, of course, Dummett comes on and manhandles Ashley Young to the floor. Stonewall penalty for me. I was right in front of it. Couldn't believe what Dummett was doing. Literally wrestled him to the floor. You know, you knew straight away that was going to be reviewed, because play went on and everybody around me said that's going to be checked by VAR. There's no doubt about that. And of course, as soon as the ball went dead, referee is in his ear with VAR, of course, goes to the screen, and the rest is history. Dubravka managed to get a hand on the penalty, but it was hit with a lot of pace by Calvert-Lewin. And 1-1, and you thought maybe Everton were going to go on and win the game after that. Their tails were up. But you know what? It's the same old story for me, what happened in the game. You know, a lot of youth on the pitch today, and a lot of players being given their opportunity. I thought Anderson huffed and puffed well. Harvey Barnes did okay. Harvey Barnes was okay first half, I guess. He sort of went out of it a little bit in the second half. However, Lewis Hall played well as far as I could see. Dan Burn, one player who I've given a lot of criticism to this season, I thought was very, very good tonight. Very good, especially in the second half. Made some very good clearances, excellent tackles, and he looked like a very strong central defender. But after that, I mean, you look at the midfield and you think, Longstaff again. I mean, you know, this is the first time, obviously, I've been to St James's Park in a while, and I didn't know what the home fans were like with regards to Longstaff. All I've seen is obviously comments and things like that and doing the show. But being in the ground, it's just the same. People can't believe that he is, you know, given the amount of play time that he is. 5 times in the second half, I counted that he gave the ball away. Very, very easy passes, but yet again, given simple passes away to the opposition. And, you know, when we're on the attack, he gets the ball on the attack and the attack breaks down. And I don't know, I honestly don't know what Eddie Howe sees in him. And, you know, speaking to a lot of people in that ground tonight and around the ground after the game, they feel exactly the same. But, you know, Eddie's hands are tied with regards to who he can bring on. But for me, I'd rather see a young kid in the middle of the park. I'd rather see Joe White there than Longstaff, because Longstaff offers literally shit all. And that's putting it mildly. Absolutely bollocks all. But look, the bottom line is Longstaff's going to be in the side for the rest of the season now. There's no doubt in my mind. It doesn't matter how badly Sean Longstaff plays in these games, he will always get the start. And that's what really pisses me off. And it pisses a lot of Newcastle fans off. He's not up to it at the minute. I don't know what's going on with him. You know, we all thought it was an injury, but Eddie's come out and said that he's not injured now. So it's obviously just form. And his form is absolutely shockingly bad right now. You know what? It's frustrating, because it's 2 points dropped as far as I'm concerned. You know, we've dropped points against lower sides for God knows how long at home this season. You look at Luton, you look at Forest, you look now at Everton, and you think, you know, those points that we've dropped against these sides are criminal. Absolutely criminal. We take the lead tonight. We hit the post in the second half. But again, it's more of huffing and puffing than any... We're just not clinical enough in my view. You know, I'm sitting in that ground tonight there, and we get the ball on the 18-yard box, and nobody's willing to take a pot. Everybody's in with a chance of shooting, and then they decide not to and pass it out wide. Now, I'm not sure whether that's come from the manager or whether it's just players' confidence. I don't know. I really don't know. But when you get the ball in that situation, just take a shot. Just have a go. But there seems to be a massive reluctance to have a go tonight. But look, we got a point out of it at the end of the day. We're a very, very weakened side. There's no doubt about that, you know, given who we are missing in that starting lineup. But I still felt we were better than Everton. You know, because Everton are garbage, guys. They really are garbage. They're heading one way and that's down. They are a poor side, a very, very poor side. But look, it's all right me sitting here saying they're a poor side when they've just got a 1-1 draw with us. But I guess, you know, being honest tonight, you've got to look at injuries and say that hasn't helped us at all. We lost Lewis Hall to an injury tonight as well. He was holding his rib in the first half, and I thought that might have been a change at half-time, but he didn't. He came out for the second half, but it obviously got too much and he had to come off in the end. But Paul Dummett comes on and goes to left back and has no idea what he's doing. You know, so many times he's getting that ball on the left-hand side, just standing still with it. He didn't have a clue what to do. And then wrestling Ashley Young. Of all the players to wrestle to the floor, he wrestles down Ashley Young. Oh, dear me. Honestly, it's so frustrating, man. A lot of fans have come out of that ground tonight extremely frustrated with what they've seen. But one point I'd like to make, not from the game. I was very, very intimidated tonight. Well, not intimidated, but very upset and angry when I went into that ground. Because I now have, obviously, because I've got Parkinson's, I have a disabled ticket. So when I brought the ticket up on my phone, put it to the window, buzzed me in, I go through the turnstile and I'm immediately stopped by the woman who was inside the booth. And she then says that I have a kid's ticket. It's flashed up 2 green lights, so I've got a children's ticket. And I says, well, I haven't. I've got an adult ambulance ticket. And she argued with me 2 or 3 times before demanding to see my the ticket on my phone. So I showed her the ticket on the phone, and it says adult ambulance. Now, I'm then questioned. She turned around and said, you do not look disabled. Can you imagine how I felt with everybody looking, holding up the queue as well to get in the turnstile, but the people that were already in there looking at me? This woman standing in front of me saying, I do not look disabled. And then I said, how dare you? I said, that's a really shocking thing to say. Quite honestly, I was really taken aback by it. And then she actually demanded to know what my disability was. Now, anybody who's disabled will know that that is bang out of order. Just because you don't look disabled doesn't mean you don't have a disability. And I was questioned on that, and she then demanded to know what my disability was. And twice I told her it's none of her business. The club have issued this ticket because I have proved with paperwork that I have an illness. And eventually I lost my temper and I just said, look, if you really need to know, I have Parkinson's disease. And then she looked at me and said, "Bah, you're a bit young for that. You don't look like you've got Parkinson's." Can you imagine how crushed I felt when I was questioned inside Newcastle United Football Club by a steward who said I didn't look like I had Parkinson's? I am disgusted and upset. In fact, I'm more upset than I am disgusted because that's really hurt me. I spend a fortune on this football club. I run a Newcastle United channel trying to push the club and trying to, you know, be a fan channel across the world. And I'm questioned by that football club about my disability. Now, I will be ringing them tomorrow or emailing them because I'm not letting this go. Because if this happens to me, then it can happen to many other disabled people who've been issued disabled tickets but don't necessarily look, according to her, disabled. It's a shocking thing to do, and it's a shocking thing to treat somebody like that, to accuse them of not having a disability and actually having to prove and ask what the disability was in the first place. So if that happens to me, that will happen to many, many disabled customers at Newcastle United. And I'm really hurt by that. I'm really hurt by that. This is the club I love. I've loved all my life. And now they've made me feel like this. Disgrace. Absolutely disgraceful. But anyway, I had to tell you guys because, listen, I don't want this happening to anybody else who has an ambulance ticket and gets questioned on the door or on the gate of a football ground as to what your disability is. I don't want this happening to anybody else. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your night, folks. We'll see you soon, obviously, for the review tomorrow night. But in the meantime, take it easy.